From the top of Wologisi to the beaches of Maryland, we cover Liberia like nobody else does. This is Spring 107.5 FM.
You already know it's time for your program's Phone Talk Business. And of course, this is where we discuss business, everything happening when it comes to your business, your entities, your work, whatever it is that you do and you want to talk about right here. This is the place to advertise, to make sure people get to know you and what you do. As an entrepreneur, whatever it is that you do, no matter what you are selling, this is where you should come to sell it. The program is Phone Talk Business. And we are live on Spoon 107.5. We are also live on Fabric 101.1. We are live on Spoon TV, on Facebook, Super TV, and Fabric TV. So we welcome you. We are also live on our YouTube channel, and that is Phone Talk. Somebody say you don't recognize the YouTuber. So we say all of you viewing via YouTube, we welcome you. We appreciate you. Thank you for being there. It's time to get information that you need. So get glued to your radio, get glued to your sets. Please share the show in the different groups, all of your social media platforms. I know you want to know how to get to Canada. Big team. Everybody wants to go. And so this is your chance and opportunity to get to learn. Your host, TT Connie, the CEO of Spoon Network. Hey, Miss TT. She's already seated there. Boss, my boss, they gave me welcome. Miss TT, you are welcome. Please talk to us.
Thank you, Lord.
All right. Okay. So let's bring you on, Miss TT. We're not seeing you on the camera. Can you please adjust? All right. So as she does some adjustment, we say welcome, welcome. Please share the show. We want to appreciate all of those that always relaying our programs right here in Liberia, in Raw Liberia. We have people relaying the show. We appreciate you. You are all our partners. Welcome to Spoon Talk Business. My name is Lorena Honoree. I am your producer. All right, so welcome to Spoon Talk Business, my people. Let me bring in your host, TTC Kane, CEO of Spoon Network. Madam TT, welcome.
Thank you, Lorena. And thank you to all those who are listening to us via radio and on YouTube, as Lorena said. So we're not leaving you out of anything. We say welcome to you and those who are on Facebook or whatsoever means you are watching or listening. We say welcome to Spoon Talk Business. And today we are talking about immigration. Those are you who are hiring people to help you travel, whether for school or to live in other parts. You need to do it the right way. So today we'll be talking about it. And then something big is happening too, Lorena. We're having the honor of hosting Miss Sharon H. George and Mr. Christopher Dennis Jr.,
Yep.
both of Canada. They are both regulated Canadian immigration consultants. It's RCICS. Okay, they are graduates of the Queen's University Faculty of Law with specialization in immigration and citizenship law. So you know that one concerns you. They are fully licensed by the College of Immigration and Citizenship Consultants, CICC, to practice immigration law in Canada. I mean, they're the legal people. The government say you get licensed to talk to anybody about coming to Canada, to help anybody to come to Canada. So those two powerful people will be coming on shortly. And then we do have Mr. James Lackey in studio. He's the coordinating arm in Liberia for that big meeting, that big training that the people are going to have in Canada for law enforcement people, especially with the way things are standing in Liberia between the law enforcement people and the citizens. They are going to train our law enforcement people to the letter, to the tip of the finger, like they said. So it's very important at this time in our nation's history for this training to take place and for Liberia to take advantage of it. These kind of things don't come all the time. Okay, so in a short while, we'll be bringing on our other guests, and we will hear from Mr. Lackey as well. But before we do that, let's just say welcome to D. Ashton. D. Ashton, he said, good to hear. Okay, and we have James Weaver and journalist James Akwe from at the Liberia Broadcasting Center. James, I knew it was you. Welcome anyway. He's monitoring us from Waterloo, Iowa, USA. So, Lorena, let's bring Dennis.
All right.
And let's bring Sharon to join James. And then so we can hear from all of them.
There he is, Mr. Honorable Dennis. And all right, that's Sharon George. Okay.
Okay. Hello, you too.
Hi, Nice.
Okay, nice to have you guys here, and welcome to the show. And I know you've been here before, but for the purpose of our people coming on today, I'd like you to say just one or two things about yourself. We'll start with Sharon, and then we'll move on to Dennis, and then we'll come right back home to James. So Sharon, how you doing?
I'm fine, man. Thank you so much for having me, Miss Carney and Miss Lorena. Thank you so much for having us here today. My name is Sharon George. I moved to Canada in 2019. I'm a refugee here in Canada, and also an immigrant myself. So I'm very happy to be in a position to be able to help other people who are interested, other Liberians mainly, and everyone else around the world who is interested in making Canada their home. And because I went through the experience myself, I can feel for them. So that's one thing that empathy is very important in our work. When somebody takes their hard-earned money and they want to move outside of Liberia for better opportunities or to seek safety, you want to be there for them and understand the reasons why. So that's the work that's the approach to our business. So I'm really grateful to be here today to speak about immigration. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Dennis?
Yeah, thank you very much, Miss Kana, and thank you very much, Lorena, for having us here today to talk about immigration and Canada and all of the spectrums of what we were going to be talking on in terms of the talking points. I live in Canada, Windsor, Ontario, precisely, and just 5 minutes away from Detroit, Michigan. I've been in Canada for many years now. Of course, as a Canadian citizen and a Liberian as well, my passion for immigration as an immigrant in Canada, I really appreciate the fact that having gone through all of the intricacy of the Canadian immigration processes, so I decided to go to law school to study immigration law at Queen's University, like you mentioned, to be able to understand the law as well as to practice the laws. And this is what I'm doing now. And I'm very excited to do this because I have passion for, immigration and to provide immigration services. Of course, you need to know the law. So I'm, happy as a proud graduate of Queen's University and having pass my exams to practice immigration. So that's what I do. And I'm happy to talk about in-depth information about immigration and also the upcoming program at Sinclair College. One of the things that I wanted to quickly point out, Sinclair College have recognized us in a, partnership now as the international student recruiter as well for Sinclair College all across Africa. I think that is a great achievement. But thanks for having me as well.
Okay, congratulations on that one.
Thank you.
And to you too, Sharon. So James, let's hear from you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, guys. Good to see you, Sharon. Of course, good to see you.
Hi, Cos.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. So I'm James Lackett. You introduced me. So I'm here mainly for the upcoming program for law enforcement. That's going to focus on capacity building, purposely for law enforcement officers or personnel in Liberia. So we are honored to be part of this endeavor. I think it is a great opportunity for our law enforcement personnel. This program is going to expose them a whole lot to new leadership techniques and strategies. So we think our law enforcement institutions should take advantage of this opportunity. Thank you.
Okay. And it is a big training. As I'm looking at it right now on my phone, they'll be training provided for healthcare management and leadership, law enforcement, like you're saying, leadership, police, DEA, fire service, and customs, and violence prevention and community awareness, agribusiness, technology and leadership, gender-based violence prevention and leadership, interfaith religious leadership. So this is a huge thing covering vast area. So let's talk about it, Chris or Sharon. And no, you can take it off from there.
Yeah, sorry. So one of the things that we always, whenever we on, platform that like the Spoon Network or any other network, for an example, ELBC and OKFM, we've been there a few times. But one of the things that we really like to, start on is the legitimacy of what we do. Because there has been a growing, concern about immigration fraud and immigration scam. And one of my passion is to be able to talk more, not only about the services that we provide, but the legitimacy and what can help our people prevent themselves from getting scammed or, for an example, getting into a situation where they are entrapped as maybe human trafficking as well. But let's talk about the legitimacy. When we want to get immigration services, who are we talking to? Who are we engaging with? And are they legitimate? Right? When I came to Canada many years ago, I've had a strong background in information technology, but I made a serious decision because of my immigration experience in Canada. I decided that I was going to go to law school, study immigration law, and to be able to practice immigration law. So I had a very big shift in terms of what I do today, right? And that is a growing concerns for many people, not only in Liberia, but across Africa, across the continent, right? So you want to make sure that you're working with the right people. You want to make sure that if you're asking about immigration services, right? And I can tell you for a fact, I think Ms. George will be able to speak to this as well, is every day, in our office, when we engage with individuals from across Africa, not only from Liberia, people are very concerned about immigration scam, immigration fraud. And of course, Mr. Lackey will be able to speak to some of these things because when it comes to law enforcement as well, what the authority are doing. So we always tell people it's always good to verify the license, verify to ensure that the individual is actually licensed to practice immigration law. Otherwise, there is no reason, I understand how people are, sometimes we all become desperate to travel, but at the same time, you are the one as an individual spending your money and giving your money to people to provide immigration service. The real question is this person licensed to practice immigration law? What happened to my money when I pay later on? Am I going to get that money back? Am I going to get the service that I'm paying for? That's very important. So my number there is 226-260-9789. Every time someone sends a text message, you automatically get a message back. The first step is always to verify my license, even though I'm talking about immigration law and all of that. But it's always good to be comfortable with the people that you work with, right? To ensure that the person is legitimate. You're going on the Government of Canada website, the body of citizen and immigration consultancy, to check the website because it's a public registry, right? And that public registry, just as in Liberia, you have people who practice law, right? You go to the Liberian Bar Association to check to see, that that person have, license to practice law. So it's the same way in Canada. And I always advise, and, I'm begging, my fellow Liberians, even being a Canadian citizen, it doesn't change the blood of me being a typical Liberian. But please, 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 please check to ensure that you're working with someone who have license to practice immigration law. And I'll, turn it on to my colleague, Sharon, to be able to speak to that, and maybe James as well, in terms of trafficking as well. Thank you.
So, Sharon, you don't even the gruesome stories that people hear. Just a little while back, one whole family stored up everything, left Sierra Leone, and came to Liberia because the schemers have convinced them to leave Sierra Leone and come to Liberia. They were going to take off from here. They stored up everything, came just to find out that they were dealing with the wrong people. The wrong people. Just imagine that devastation. You're not getting your money back, your property, everything gone. Gone.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, that has been a recurring theme. There have been cases where people have even showed up at an airport. They're about to to board the plane with their family, and they're being turned away by the immigration officers, Canadian immigration officers that are placed at those ports of exits and entries. Right. So it's a very sad situation. And like Chris was saying earlier, it's very important. We talk about license verification. We say verify, we say research, but people just feel, unfortunately, a lot of people feel we're just saying it because maybe we don't want to talk to them and all of that. But that continues to be the reason why they continue to get scammed, because all they want to hear is somebody sweet talking them. We can pick up the phone and talk to you, and you can hear the nicest voice, and you can hear all of the nice things, and somebody tells you, sell your property. In fact, in 1 month, you and your family will be in Canada. Just sell everything. 100% you're going to Canada. And that person follows through, and it's sad, but it comes down, like, at some point, people have to take accountability for their inaction as well. Because like Chris said, everything is public information. If you want to know if someone is a legitimate person, if that person is actually going to practice in your interest, you need to verify. And that information is publicly available online. Thank God for the internet. Anything you want to know is on Google. Just go to Google, right? And we have, if you go to our social media pages, we have made it public there. Our websites, everything is published, right? Just go there. Do the verification, put our names in. Once you see that we are licensed, you know that these people are accountable to a body. These are not people who can just do anything. We don't just practice any kind of way because we have a license to protect, right? We are accountable to the government of Canada. We live in Canada. We have to protect our career and our very statuses in Canada. You see? So if you want to work with someone who has nothing to lose, then it really ends up, those kinds of unfortunate cases usually, become the situation. But if you work with someone who knows they have a lot to lose, the likelihood of that person behaving recklessly towards you, very, very low, very minute. So again, it's very important for this verification process to happen. Go to the College of Immigration and Citizenship Consultants. Click find a consultant, find a consultant. Go there, type Sharon George. Go there, type Christopher Dennis. Once you see it, you know that this person is licensed and they are in good standing, and then now you can move forward. It's not talking to the person on the phone and hearing the person speaking English. It's not what guarantees you that you're working with someone who is legitimate, right?
And these are some of the things that land people in Libya. Some of the gruesome stories that we hear. James is shaking his head. I know he's going to add on to that. People land in Libya. People die in the ocean. trying to get to places because people call them this telephone. No, that technology, the telephone is a good thing, but do not let it be a bad thing for you. Do things the right way. If you look here on the screen, you will see Christopher Dennis. You will see his license number there. He's not afraid to put it there because he knows that you will check it. So he will not come sit down here with fake license number there. See Sharon over there. And you hear it there for us Liberians who are always caught in the web when it comes to these kind of things here. These are our own Liberians. You hear Sharon speaking Liberian English, refined one. Christopher speaking Liberian English, refined one. They are Liberians. James is a Liberian. Okay? These people are telling you. If you have not felt it, maybe some people like to feel a pin before. But people take you from here and carry you and turn you into a slave. And they have held people for ransom from their families who don't even have it, who didn't even have it for them to go in the first place. On a gruesome conditions. Some of them died. I know everybody wants greener pasture, but can we just try? Take a step back and do it the right way. Human trafficking. They will sell your organs if you're not careful. Okay. So James, let me stop that and let you come in.
Yeah, so I mean, I think the approach by Josh and Chris and Sharon, I think it's a milestone one. Information right now we are in the information age. A lot of people don't care about following through with information. There are thousands of cases of people who have been duped. People will take you from here, take money from you. I won't probably talk about a lot of them now, but I know a lot of cases. There are institutions that uncovered in this country just to extort money for people to send you abroad. There are a lot of cases, but I think with the kind of information, we want to encourage people, follow the right thing, do the right thing. Go online, as you see, those of you who are following now, those of you who will listen by radio, inform your friends, you can share this platform with other people to get the actual information. A lot of people are suffering from this.
Mm-hmm.
Liberians are so curious and concerned about, exposure. They want to get out there.
Mm-hmm.
They want to just have that first-hand exposure. And looking at what's happening around us, we do not have to be a victim before we know what is happening. You learn from other people's situations and then take the necessary precaution. Follow the information we're going to share is going to help you. Sharon and Chris are legitimate immigration consultants. I was with Sharon in Canada. We hang around, and so I know, what she can do. So I just want to encourage our people out there. It's good to travel, but travel the right way.
So let me put it back to Sharon and Chris. Can you walk somebody through the process of getting to you and getting some of these things done? One person can take that one, and another person can take what can you do? What kind of services can you provide?
Okay,
Go
I'll
ahead,
do the services and then you can walk through with how to get. All right, so the services, because we are fully licensed, because of the kind of license that we hold, the RCIC-IRB, we are licensed to practice every aspect of Canadian immigration law. We have no restrictions on our license. That is a complete license. So if somebody wants to visit Canada, if somebody wants to study, if somebody wants to work in Canada, somebody wants to immigrate as a permanent resident, if somebody wants to establish a business here in Canada and get their resident status, if somebody is being deported from Canada and they need representation, we can represent them. If someone is being detained and they need representation to post a bail or whatever, we can represent them. If somebody is a refugee here and they want to make a claim and they need to make representation at the hearing, we can represent. Like if they want to sponsor their children, their wife, anything related to Canadian immigration, we are fully licensed and in good standing to provide immigration services to them. So it just comes down now to eligibility. And that's one of the reasons why we have consultations, because we don't know. A lot of times people come to us, they don't know what they are eligible for, or they might come to us thinking they're eligible for something. And during the consultation, because of the kind of in-depth assessments we carry out on them, they find that we ourselves are aware of what they are eligible for, and they also become aware of what they're eligible for. And if they are not eligible for anything at the moment, we always know how to advise them to become eligible for the future. So we don't take on every single client that comes to us through a consultation. There are some clients that are really not eligible, and we're not going to take your money and tell you you're eligible for something. We'll tell you you're not eligible, but this is what you can do for the next 1 year or something. Work towards this. You can get this, and then the next few months, And there are some people who are just never going to be eligible. I don't know, maybe I would never belongs to God, right? But given the circumstances, certain kinds of circumstances, there are certain people who would just not be, at least for the next few years, right? And then of course you also have to look at the person's personality as well. There are some people who you consult with and you realize that if I bring this person on, I will get in trouble. And I don't want to deal with anyone who's going to put me in trouble. So you don't take on clients, not every single client, right? So everything related to Canadian immigration, we are fully licensed and in good standing to provide service.
So Sharon, before we go to tennis, can you walk us through the education aspect of it? Somebody wanting to come to school in Canada, what are some of the steps that they need to take?
Right.
What are some of the things they need to find? Because it's a two-way thing. You will process it, but they have to come up with the documents and everything. Okay. So can you just walk us through that briefly?
Right. I will not be able to go into detail because I cannot give generalized advice here on this forum. However, there are some basic things that everybody will have to provide. For example, your passport, right? If you have children, the birth certificates, definitely you have to show proof of funds. You need to show that you have money to pay your tuition and to take care of yourself whilst you're in school in Canada, right? But the first thing we do, like I said, we consult with you. We consult with you to find out so many things. What's your previous education, your work experience, your family situation, your previous travels. Everything about you is assessed. Everything. And because we are licensed, we are bound by confidentiality. We can literally lose our license if we don't keep our clients' information confidential. So you don't lie to your lawyer, you don't lie to your doctor. Yeah. So during the course of the consultation, we, try to establish rapport. We're all human beings. Sometimes people know that you are bound by confidentiality, but they are still not open. So you have to, navigate the conversation in a way that the person becomes comfortable with speaking to you, and then you can get the information that you need. And of course, reassure them that they are safe and they will continue to be safe under Canadian law. Right. And then you get that information and then you can advise them and say, okay, maybe you just graduated from high school. Okay. Maybe because of your GPA, your undergraduate GPA, this is what you can do. So this is one of the reasons it's never accurate when you give broad advice, because one situation that applies to one person might not necessarily apply to everybody. Everybody has completely different circumstances in their lives, whether it's their travel history or their GPA or what they study, things like that. So consultation, again, after the consultation, we provide you with a recap of everything we discussed, including the next steps. So next steps will be, what the person can do, like how much they're going to pay for that service, how much is going to be deducted from the fee. All of those kinds of factors are presented to you, on paper where you can make easy reference to. And then if you want to move forward with our services, you just let us know. And then we issue you your invoice and of course your service agreement. And then we do your onboarding. And then during the onboarding is where now we bring a list of all the documents that we need from you based on your particular profile.
Okay.
Yeah, at that point, you are bringing us the documents. And of course, there are some documents that we gave you to give us, to fill up and give us, because we don't know your sister's name. We don't know which city your mom was born in, things like that, right?
So can anyone just sit down in Liberia or Look, folks, it's not only for Liberians, it's for anyone, anywhere. We just
Absolutely.
want it to be legit,
Mhm.
and we don't want you to fall into trouble. That's all.
Mhm.
Okay, because someone just sit anywhere and say, "Oh, I think I want to relocate. I want to take my family to Canada,
Mhm.
not for
Absolutely.
school, but to work and stay there legitimately."
Absolutely. Absolutely. Canada is the second largest country in the world by land mass. And again, we don't have a lot of people here. We're less than 40 million, or about somewhere around 40 million people. Our population is very low. And even the people that I hear, over 50% of them are older people. They're going to be retiring. Most of them are going to be retiring in the next few years. So Canada is very open. You hear about Canada so much because Canada is actually desperate for labor force. And the only way that they can satisfy that labor force right now in the next generation is by immigrant labor force, because people are not having as much babies as they should have in order to meet up with the population demands with the next generation, right? So for the next 30 years, in order for the economy to be competitive globally, we need immigrants. We need immigrants. And so it doesn't matter where you're from. As long as you're eligible for the different programs that are available, Canada opens their doors to you and your family.
So Dennis, let me come to you. What are some of the areas of preference right now that people that Canada really need people for when it comes to, I'm referencing the labor force now.
Well, so one of the beauty that Canada has been looking into is the skill trade, right? People who are in the skills area. So Canada has been working on, a 2025, 2030, and 2050 plan. So that projection, of course, as you may have heard or not, Canada is trying to expand, the housing. There has been housing crisis in Canada, for an example. So people who are in the skills trade, for example, plumbers, mason, carpenters, construction workers, electrician, heavy machine operators, heavy duty machine operators as well, right? And of course, those who are in managerial levels and things like that. Canada has been working hard to ensure that they can revamp, not only revamping, but extending, for our populations and also for our citizens as well. So these are areas that the workforce is in high demand, right? So when it comes to high demand fields, all right, especially skilled trades, people who are carpenter, painters as well, hairdressers, Canada is open to all walks of people, right? But at the same time, we're trying to make sure that we're protecting our borders as well, right? To the people who are coming in Canada with an intention to contribute to our economy, right? Of course, people who have had issues with criminality and things like that. Of course, nobody want, people to come into their country with those kind of records. So there are set requirements that you have to meet, right?
Okay.
So let's
Yes,
say for an, go ahead.
I like to hold you there a minute, and I want to I want to find out for you. Uh, is it possible for somebody to just get up from behind the hospital? You know that what goes on here most of the time. Somebody would be an apprentice to mechanic for 5 months, 6 months, misbehave, and they go open their part of makeshift three planks, put it together, nail it in, and they have a mechanic shop. If you talk about somebody about mechanics, you talk about painters, you talk about people, professional painters, right?
Right.
So people don't get lost in the hay. They say, oh, okay, I've been painting with that man for 3 months. I can go to Canada and start painting right away. They should try to get some kind of paper in it. Am I right? That seems to be correct.
Right. Right. So, in terms of the federal skilled worker program, so Canada is making it in a way that you're not just, jumping up and coming, right? So you have to meet the requirements in terms of the immigration regulations, right? As a skilled person. So let's say, for an example, the guy who is a painter, for an example, have he gone to school, right? He or she don't have to be a university graduate or someone who have gone to higher education. People graduate from high school and they could decide that, look, I want to go to a trade school and I don't want to go to a university, which of course is totally fine, right? But you must be able to meet the requirements. Number one, you have to be able to speak either English or French, which are the two official languages of Canada, right? And then you have to pass that exams, right? You have to take a test just to assess you, to understand that you can speak English, you can read English, you can write English, and then you can listen to English. Those are the one of the requirements. Another requirement is you have to be, either a college graduate or you must have completed a set of trade skills program. One of the things that we've been working with people from across Africa are people who don't have any diploma or certification, but they can come to Canada and sit an exams in the particular field, and then they can subsequently propel to the express entry in terms of the skilled worker program, right? So we have been working with people who are in those fields, like, for an example, someone who is a heavy duty machine operator. We work with them. It's people who are in construction, people who are in hairdressing, for an example, diverse areas, and people who are in law enforcement, for an example, that have skills in those areas, like Mr. James, Mr. Lake, sorry, we've talked, and those different areas, those are areas that people are able to elevate themselves. So you don't have to be, a college graduate or university graduate before you can get on any of the type of express entry, but you have to meet the requirements. And we always tell individuals, is not because we have license to practice immigration law. So that means if you are hiring our service, that means you're going to get a visa. No, we tell you from day one, right, that we are not the one that makes the ultimate decision in terms of your immigration process. Immigration officers, they are the ones that make the ultimate decisions on your application. However, we will ensure that you have met all of the requirements before we can submit your applications. So, like my colleague said, when people tell you, for an example, we will get you a bank statement, for an example, a job letter, you have to pay, I think, certain amounts for all these different things. That is, you're just running into a rabbit hole at the end of the day, because you are participating in your own fraud. Do not pay for anything that relates to your application process. You have to produce, you have to present those documents, right? If anyone who is licensed and practicing immigration law will never tell you to give them money to prepare a bank statement for you, to prepare a job letter for you, or any type of documents. So all of those things, when you hear it, I know that a lot of people fall, prey to those things. And TD, we've had exclusively conversations in those areas, but it's not true. If you were ever to do that, you are definitely going to end up into misrepresentation. And with Canada law, once you have been found to misrepresent, you are bound to 5 years of not coming to Canada. And your chances in the future will be very slim. And I think Mr. Lake, in terms of, immigration fraud and all of those things, your law enforcement, they really talk more about that. I will leave that to the law enforcement people to talk about.
So before we come to Mr. Lake to talk a bit about the law enforcement aspect, somebody here, one of our followers, just said that your consultancy fees are so high. So can you defend it or tell them something?
Well, I wouldn't say that I would defend it.
Well, defend is not a word.
Right,
Okay.
right.
But can you
To talk about it.
High?
And look, I'm going to speak the real Liberian colloquial now.
Yeah, please do that.
So, I really say this to everybody. And, to my own Liberian people, y'all might hear me well, because law is not an easy thing. The fees that we charge, to be honest, if one of the things that I quite remember, TT, is walking from the onset when I came to Canada many years ago. One of the promise that I made to myself, I was on deportation, just to make it straightforward. In immigration law, you call that remove order. And I had 16 hours to be removed from Canada. But one of the things that I always said at the time when I was moving out from that hall, I said to myself that one day I'm going to come back to this place, and I will not come back as a person trying to get immigration services, but I will come back here as a representative. I quite remember that. And I made a strong commitment to myself because I'm a go-getter, right? And many years after, I'm so proud of myself that commitment that I made, that I bulldoze the trenches and the intricacies of the immigration system here, went through the process, and decided after 29 years of being an IT engineer, I shift my career to becoming the first male Canadian or Liberian Canadian, if you will, to have earned the license that I have to practice immigration law in Canada. I made a commitment that every year I would give a pro bono to individuals that going through extreme situations that don't have the money to pay for services. I made that commitment. I love immigration.
So explain the pro bono to our people now, because that simple like English now, Chris, please.
I was going to let Mr. Lake to explain the pro bono when he come in, because he's laughing, and my colleague Sharon. But pro bono is pretty much free service. You don't have to pay for it. And I'm very honest about what I talk about, because when I was interviewed on the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation television, that's one thing. When they came to my residence to interview me, I talk about all of these things. And the reasons why I talk about it is because I felt that I was not treated the right way. But fast forward, nothing comes on your plate that easily. You have to work for it. So the pro bono that I give people, and when people talk about free services or reduced costs, when I went to Queen's University, I pay the full fee, right? But even though I have a very thick Liberian blood, being a Canadian as well, I always tell our people, if you want to change your life, you have to be a go-getter. When someone puts you behind a door, it is left with you to make that conscious decision that you are not going to stay behind that door. You have to move from behind that door. That decision is left with you.
So
I'm happy to help.
you guys do payment plan?
In terms of consultation, there is no payment plan, but there are payment plans when it comes to the services that we provide. You know, we have payment plans. Is more.
So you're only here saying the thing expensive, the thing expensive. The people say they can do payment plan not for the consultation, but when the process starts. But can they trust you to do payment plan for you to pay too? Because you're accusing them that it's this, is that. Can they trust you? Because that's when the things that we get here. In the end, when some of you get your visa now, you wear extra wings. Nobody, and then you can't even do it to them because they are lawyers.
Right. So one of the things before I give it to my colleagues, one of the things before I give it to my colleagues is, so we have written a policy, at least Immigrating by Dennis Immigration, we have written a policy. And it's because of the interaction with the people that we interact from Liberia or Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, or Europe, Australia. So one of the things that before you can hire me as your immigration representative, before immigration, you must verify our credentials. If you don't do that, we're going to send you back. You have to, make sure that you verify our immigration license. Because if you do that, one of the beauty of that is you have confidence. Because if anything goes wrong, you don't have to run behind me. All you need to do is to go to the government of Canada and say, Chris Dennis took my money and he vanished off the thin air. I can never find him again. So I need my money back, right? So you can do that. But if you went to the guy to the end of the cafe or someone who say there's a middleman, of course, you're throwing your dice and you don't want to do that. So I will give it up to my colleagues and James and Sharon.
Starting off with the pro bono issue you raised, I think Mr. Dennis have done a lot of pro bono for today. Just by explaining to people what the processes are, what steps you need to take, what qualifies you to venture into whatever program you intend to. It's a whole lot crazy. Did well today. Thank you for that. So the issue of law enforcement, it's just about people following what the law says, what the process are. Now, if you want to travel everywhere around the world, the law intent is to keep all citizens or people safe. Liberia is interested in making sure, the government is interested in making sure that the citizens are safe. Whatever means they want to use to get out of this country, it should be in a proper way that will ensure their safety, because of course law enforcement has to make sure where you go there with, how you work visa you got, when you're traveling, the processes you're going through, it has to be in line with best practice. We have our immigration system. If you are coming to Liberia with a foreign passport, you will require a visa, right? If that country is not part of our ECOWAS region. And then if you are also going to another country outside of ECOWAS, you need to go through the process. So yes, Chris, law enforcement is just the process, making sure that we as citizens who have the intention of traveling, in this case, you have to follow what is required. Okay. We will not give you the layout of what you have to do, but in line with the program you're going to be going on, you have to follow what the processes are.
Right. And so Miss TD Connett, so you know, just as what Mr. Lake mentioned, so this June and sorry, this July and August, one of the things that, like we earlier said, that we have partnership. Of course, you have it on the screen, being the first firm globally to have partnership with Sinclair College, being their international student recruiter. Well, so Sinclair College is hosting a global leadership conference program. And this program is open up to all walks of life, from law enforcement to interdenomination churches and well, I'll say faith, right? Because Muslim, Christian, sorry, is open. They are open to that. That's what they are having from gender based, like you earlier on stated from the beginning. So this is a program that is really trending across the globe. And people in Liberia, our friends in Liberia, of course, there are individuals who are watching your show, just to let you know, from Ghana, from Rwanda, from Nigeria, Sierra Leone, and South Africa, across the globe. This program is going to be really compact. And this is a program. So let's take, for an example, the law enforcement agencies across Africa. So there are people from Africa, from the law enforcement agencies, that are coming to this event. One of the beauty of that is they will be engaging in Windsor, Ontario. They will be engaging with the law enforcement agencies in Windsor, as well as the border services as well, just to be able to assess and see what they are doing, what they can bring back home as well in these different countries, and engaging in that. Networking would happen during this event, as well as not only this event, but they are able to come back, to Canada and engage with these different, agencies as well, healthcare, organizations as well. They will be able to engage with different hospitals in Windsor. There are 5 major hospitals, and Windsor is building one of the mega hospitals across Ontario. So those are things that will be happening. And I think what the benefit would be, like Mr. Lake talked about, would be, engaging with these different agencies. And at the end of the day, going back home and then bringing back the experience that they have had here. So I just wanted to bring
in addition to what Chris just said, they're going to be doing training in agribusiness, technology, and leadership, which is paramount. Gender-based violence prevention and leadership institutions, experts like you are dealing with gender-based violence, the Ministry of Gender. You are there. This is an opportunity for you to send some of your people out there to get the required healthcare management and leadership, the health sector. You can benefit from this particular training that is trending now on the internet for July, I think July, August, and then even the interfaith religious leadership, because these are the people that we have sitting over the church business in Liberia. You need to go out here, get some leadership training there, so you can take your rightful stance in the country when people start asking, but what happened to interfaith? What happened to this? What happened to the church? What you saying? Yeah, go out there.
Miss TD, I didn't want to. Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's not only churches, because the training is not teaching doctrine. is
Yes.
teaching leadership. So Muslim, Buddhism,
Yes.
all of that, everybody are included.
Okay,
Sorry.
thank you for the correction. So interfaith is not just the churches, but for our setting, anyway, interfaith, Muslim, Christians, all of the Muslim people, you got to take advantage of this thing too. Muslims or Christians or Buddhists or whosoever, your leaders need training. And there are a lot of people coming from all around the world that you'll be able to meet, to interact with, to network with, and bring back knowledge, experience, and whatever else you are able to negotiate there. Then we have the law enforcement and customs leadership. Law enforcement, my people, Gregory Coleman, all of you guys, people need to take advantage of the things. Then send some of your young people out there. Okay?
And
Technology.
that's why
Violence prevention and community awareness.
So like
It's so important for Liberia. Come on.
So for the law enforcement, it covers the entire law enforcement sector of our country.
Mhm.
So you have the LMP, the training is designed for police, LDA, custom, fire service, immigration. So it's a whole package that's really going to help. And I want to encourage our leadership of the law enforcement institutions to ensure that the officers have the opportunity to attend this program.
Mhm.
It's very important. It's kind of going to expose the officers to modern law enforcement, practices that we said. Also, it exposes you because you're going to have opportunity to meet other law enforcement colleagues from different African countries. Part of what I learned, in fact, when I spoke with the director of the program, he talked about a field visit. They're going to take you to the border, which is one of the biggest border, I think, in the world, if not the biggest in the world, the border between Canada and America.
Mhm.
They're going to take you there. You're going to see firsthand, how immigration work, how DEA work at the border, how the police work. It's going to create the opportunity to interact with different, personnel from different agencies. And it also going to create what I see as a very important aspect is that partnership.
Okay.
Yes, that you can partner with the institution. You can, Liberia can reach out to this institution in terms of how they can foster more collaboration for capacity training, like you are aware. Law enforcement in Liberia, the guys are doing well. They really doing their best in the wake of all of the challenges, especially when it comes to capacity. It's a challenge for all the institutions, but they are doing their very best. So I want to call on the leadership to take advantage of this opportunity to ensure that our officers can attend some of these programs and see firsthand what they have, modern tools. Law enforcement now there are too many new things that interplay in the operation of law enforcement. So at least our people can be able to see some of those things, and it's going to be helpful. Yeah.
Okay. So we almost other. Okay, somebody, let me read just this comment. Meaning individual. Okay, somebody wants to know whether individuals can apply.
I'll leave that to Miss George to speak about that more.
Sure. And individuals can apply, institutions can also apply. It's not a restrictive program at all. If, for example, since Mr. Lake is here, we'll hone in on law enforcement. If any of the law enforcement agencies wanted to sponsor their staff members to attend this program, then of course, in that case, they are strictly coming for law enforcement related training, right? But if I were maybe a police officer and I felt like, you know what, I want to strengthen my agribusiness skills, and I have my own money to pay to come and learn about agribusiness, then of course, as an individual, I can register and attend, right? So anyone from anywhere, any facility, any institution, you are more than welcome to attend.
Okay, so somebody else is asking another one. Is there a PR pathway for international students while still in school?
From outside of Canada, usually for you to be eligible, you have to have an education and of course a degree. And most times when you have a master's degree, your chances are higher. So let that person book a consultation, and then we can further assess you, because we don't know anything about you to determine whether you're eligible for PR outside of Canada or not. So just go ahead and book a consultation, and we'll be happy to help you.
Okay. So somebody has been asking for contact. Rolling on the screen down there is the name of Christopher Dennis, and his number. Let me see, 122 plus 1226 260 9789. For those listening by radio, plus 1226 260 789. You will get straight to Mr. Dennis and ask him anything, and you can kick your ball rolling. Traveling
Right.
for Liberians, our eyes are just opening to traveling, unlike other people around the sub region. When you go, you see them in group. Like you go to conference, you see them in group plenty. Or you go, like maybe just one or two Liberians there. So
Yeah.
we have to expand our horizon. We have to open our minds. The word is going, is not waiting for you to get out of that sleep. Everybody
One of the
is
things that
open yours.
one of the
Go ahead.
things, Miss Titi, that I forgot to mention, when we immigrants, come to these countries, we face so many difficulties. And one of the things that I always, applaud Miss George about is, her tenacity to overcome, immigration situations. And having been the first Liberian female to have obtained the license that she have across Canada, she always said, I wish that we can have more of us. That's a blessing, because we go to hospitals, we see doctors from Nigeria, from Gabon, from Cameroon, from Ghana, and things, right? And in immigration as well, she is the only one in Canada. Her number, she can be reached because Mayu Immigration, she being the director of her own firm, it's just something that we should all applaud as well, as
So
female, making it the way that she's doing. I think is a good thing. When we had a conversation with Mr. Lake, and at the time with Sinclair College as well, it was a great privilege to have had that. But we need more females in the practice that we do in immigration law. And even though it's not an easy task, of course, but I think we should really, 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 hold her at a very high esteem as a Liberian, and coming in these countries, especially in Canada. I think it's a really good thing that we can see more women in this field as well.
We definitely look forward to
Sarah, I'm
having
going to
you.
join you in prayers, okay?
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay,
So if you
asking,
want to reach out to Miss George, I don't know, Miss George. I think it will be your
It's okay. Yeah, they can always check the Facebook page and all that. Yeah,
and
just
your phone number as
okay,
well.
what's the your handle on Facebook?
just my name, Sharon George, or the company name, Mayu Immigration Services. Either or. I post on both pages. So that's
Okay. So Sharon George, you can go to her on Facebook, Sharon George, because if you're asking, start asking some more questions here. What would be the cost of the upcoming program? She said hit them up. So go to Sharon on Facebook, Sharon George, or you go to Mayu It's a Mayu Corporation.
Mario Immigration Services. The
Okay,
flyer
Mario.
is even on Facebook. Everything is written on that flyer.
Mayu
Yeah.
Immigration Services.
And the phone number too, I think it will help.
Put it there before we go. So,
Sorry?
all those who have not seen it yet, Lorena is going to put it there. It's because it's not there. Lorena is going to put it there. So,
Oh, the phone number, right? Yeah, the phone number.
The
Sharon,
flyer.
read it out.
Yeah.
Your phone
you
number.
can go back and watch the show and get all the information you want to put Ms. George's information up here too.
I wish you could put the flyer up too so that,
Okay,
Sharon, you can read the phone number out too, so maybe they can reach out.
Oh, okay. +1 587 566 6826.
Okay. So can you repeat the number again, Sharon?
+1 587 566 6826.
Okay. Mr. Jennifer, can you just send it to Lorena?
Yeah.
You can just paste it quick.
Please.
Sure.
Mr. Dennis. Okay.
Okay. I'll do it. So we have come to the end of this time, and do hope that we can come again and to educate our people on what to do when you want to travel, so you don't fall in the wrong hands. Like people are losing their lives across the world because of scammers. People are out there in different capacities on different missions. Don't fall prey. Don't be the kidney producer for anybody.
Right.
The liver producer or heart producer. You just might not live to tell the story. And somebody will just mess you up for nothing. So you have one authentic Mayu Immigration Services Canada. They do every country. You heard Chris earlier on talking about Nigeria, talking about Ghana. People are out there looking for authentic people. So you don't fall in the hands of the one who tell you, say, sell your house in Sierra Leone, come to Liberia. But our people, it's just too big to talk. So I just like to take your parting comments for now. And I pray that we do this often so people get to hear you talk, and you talk again. And each time it will land. Each time we land here, there, Yana, in the end, a lot of people who have heard, a lot of people will be able to carry the message across. So let me take it down from James, then we'll come to Dennis, then we'll go to the big boss to close up.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. It was an honor being here today. So for the law enforcement program, I currently the law enforcement program, which is going to be starting very soon. We want to encourage law enforcement institutions, individuals who are part of these institutions. You can sign up once you are a policeman. You come from the DEA, immigration, custom, fire service. You can sign up for it. It's important. Do it as quick as possible. Just go to the link. We've been sharing some with other people. Go to the link, put in your information, and book your space. Once that is done, then you're going to receive the necessary information, and then from there, we can work through your agency to see how we can get you on board for that program.
Okay.
I'm the honorary, my position is honorary Chief Operating Officer for the leadership training program in Liberia.
Okay.
So yes, my number, I think you probably share the number of the different institutions. Most of them already know me. They have my number, and then you can call me.
So can you call the number
you need,
just in case?
It's 086 929968.
9299
68.
68.
Yes.
086.
Yeah, 929968.
Okay.
Thank you again for the opportunity, Prince. Thank you for the hard work, Sharon. Thank you so much. You've done so much today by informing our people what they can do to remain safe.
Thank you,
Thank you so much.
And so, Sharon, somebody has a message here for you.
Okay.
Erica V. said their services are guaranteed and good. Don't fall for scammers. Then the
Thank
other
you,
one says,
Hercal.
oh, okay, it's the same side. He says, very intelligent. I don't know if it's a he or she. Very intelligent and professional woman, Sharon. Thanks for your
Oh,
service.
thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. Okay, and Sharon, can you call your number again? Because somebody they didn't get the last one.
Yeah, so the one that's showing on the screen is currently down. So the one I'm gonna call is actually on the post as well on the Facebook page, and it's 1-587-566-6826.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do it again for us, Sharon, please.
1-587
Yeah.
566 6826.
6826.
Yeah. They gave me all the 6 in Canada.
Oh, all right.
Maybe you should call it again, Sharon.
Let's get your parting comments, Mr. Dennis.
Well, I think we've said it all. So, I love my Liberian people. I used to live in Yekipa. That's where I was born. And I'm happy to have achieved whatever I have achieved in my life. And it was not just me alone, but the people that had always supported me, my family, my friends, and to be where I'm at. I'm so happy to also support people from Liberia as well. But being in the legal framework of things, I have to practice the law and I have to abide by the law as well. So we're here to help everybody, but our goal is to always make sure that our client meets the regulations and requirements. And I'm so privileged to have come on your show again. I have been here before, and I look forward to coming again and to talk about immigration law. Yeah.
Okay. So our big boss, Josh.
Thank you so much. I just want to, express my appreciation again for to Spoon Network, but to both of you, Miss Carne and Miss Honore, for having us. Thank you to cousin James Lackey. Thank you, Mr. Dennis. It's always a pleasure when we sit down on a show like this to educate the Liberian people and to, engage with each other, and especially, try to warn other people to protect themselves in their lives, actually. So I'm really honored for this opportunity. I really hope that we get to work together. I hope that our Liberian people listen. I hope that they take in the information. I hope that they seek the right thing. I hope that they seek our services and that we end up working together. And I cannot wait to see all of you when you come to Windsor and just to hang out together. I can't wait to see you again, Cos. Thank you so much for this time. Have a wonderful day.
Okay, thank you so much,
All right.
Mr. Christopher Dennis, the boss lady Sharon George, James D. Lackey. Thank you guys for coming on tonight on Spoon Talk Business. Thank you to every single one who has come on today. We hope to see you again. Stay safe. Find you a legal immigration service to help you travel. So we have the Mayu. Like it's about the women, like woman, Mayu.
Yeah, it's I'm Basa. My mom was a Basa. Mayu Immigration Services, and then of course there's Dennis Immigration.
We're looking forward to seeing you in Canada, Lorena, and Miss Canada.
Yeah,
it's going to be a really good opportunity, and for journalists in Liberia as well.
Yeah,
there are journalists and individuals that's coming from other countries as well, but we're pushing being from Liberia and have this Liberian blood, you know, you can, you know, go without it. But we're looking forward to seeing you as well. Yeah.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Okay.
Bye to all followers. We love you. Thank you for following us again today. I am out. Lorena?
I'll tell you. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, so so many thanks to all of you for being there on our program, and that is Phone Talk Business, and the program returns next Friday. Right about this time, every 6 p.m. we are here in 4 EST, that is Eastern Time, and I'm sorry, 2 Eastern Time, and 6 o'clock GMT, that is here in Liberia. Every Friday, you can also come and advertise your own business, your entities. Even if you're selling pepper, we always say, hey, you're selling kala or penesi, whatever it is, fufu, you know, vegetable sellers, you know, see yourself on Spoon TV on program. You are also welcome to be a part. Just make sure you get here at the network and talk to us so we will get you on. And so until next week, Friday, with another guest to bring you more information and educate you, market another business. It's goodbye from my end. Good evening.